Hey there guys, this is Flamesaron, aka YouTube's Tosuke, and this is the Tales of Destiny Final Thought video Remastered. I'm showing the remake specifically because that was the one I finished. Excuse me for a moment, I gotta listen to this badass song. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, this is probably my favorite Tales opening. The song is called Yumete Aru Yoni, or To Be a Dream, as it's commonly translated, by the semi-popular J-pop band Dean. They're pretty dang good. For you hardcore Dean fans out there, you know that this song was recorded in 1997 before the lead singer decided to go through puberty. But like I said, I'm mainly showing the remake because that's the one that I finished, and honestly, I almost kind of prefer this one a little bit more, mainly just on a gameplay kind of standpoint. I know you people are probably thinking, how can you enjoy, you know, an RPG, a role-playing game, the remake better because of its gameplay? Well, the Tales series, it's not your average RPG. I mean, you know, I play it more for the gameplay than the story, and besides the story, it's pretty much copies of each other at this point. But this was the second Tales game to be released, and it was also the first Tales game to be released in English. It came out in 1998, a year after Final Fantasy VII, so it didn't sell well commercially, but it had a little bit of a cult following, which got fans interested in the series, and I think even some of them imported Fantasia on the PlayStation, and assumingly Eternia afterwards. But since this is the PS2 remake, there are actually anime cutscenes. With good old Stan there, voiced by the talented Tomokazu Seki. This Tales game had quite a cast of actors. It had 10 playable characters, including the hidden one Lilith, or whatever. But, this game, you know, a lot of people enjoyed it, both the original and the remake. Some people say that the remake changed some things about the original that were not that good, but I'd argue against that, mainly because I have no knowledge of what was changed, and, you know. As far as character types, I mean, the English version I feel like kind of toned down a few things, and plus there wasn't any voice or very little voice acting. Even though it was the first Tales game to be released in English, the voices were still in Japanese. There just wasn't any voice dialogue. Just battles and one line by Kong. And this game features talking swords, this one being Daimlos, or Daimlos, however you pronounce it. Voiced by Ryutaru Okiyaru, I think his name is. He's the guy who voices Zero in the Mega Man series, and Terra in Kingdom Hearts. And this game also features the character designs of Mitsumi Inomata, who will be known to draw a lot of the Tales characters. Where, she also is the, she's not a manga artist like, Kosuke Fujishima, but she, is, like, the main artist for Namco. I think she showed us, like, Soul Calibur and, Tekken and other games. And since this is their first time working on a Tales games, you know, not only the male characters really thin, but one of them in particular, I'm not going to name anyone, you'll be able to tell, kind of looks like a girl. You know? I mean, Stan kind of looks like a girl right there too, because his hair is kind of down. But, yeah, I have played the original. I haven't finished it, but I have played it. And guess what? We get to hear the intro again. That's not me. That's the way the video was encoded. I could have cut out the the first opening or the second one. Probably the second one would be better. But you know what? It's a good fucking song, so deal with it. Plus, it gives me more time to talk about the game and just kind of different tidbits. But the reason why they're showing this intro again is because in the actual game they did show it again. Actually, I don't even think they showed it originally, like when you start the game up. It just went to the menu. If you went to like a certain level, it would do it. But I had to play this game twice due to my file corruption, so I had to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? When I played it again, like the opening didn't show up. You can listen to it. I feel like what they did for this song, though, was just kind of remastered it and then lowered Suichi Kimori, the lead singer's voice, just by a little bit. Either that or use a different recording altogether. They should have just had him re-sing the song. I was actually looking forward to that, and I was a little disappointed. So that's, in my opinion, the lowest, my really only gripe with the game. Besides the fact that due to the combat counter thing, the gameplay is a little stiff. But, you know, my other gripe being that they didn't really take the opportunity to re-record the theme song. I mean, heck, for the Symphonia part, they got the same singer to record a different song. So, you know. Uh-oh. Yes, this was the first Tales game to have a character betray the group, like an actual player character. That's gonna become that becomes a staple of the Tales series, or one of the staples. Leon is actually my favorite character. I should have mentioned that before. That's him right there, Leon. Why is he my favorite? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of just because of Judas. Stan, I feel like, kind of fits my kind of character. I like Stan too. He's like my second favorite. And, you know. And if you can't really tell, he's kind of basically killing himself. You have to fight Leon, and he kind of has a little moment of shame. Now, Leon is voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, who Dragon Ball fans will know as Pikkon and Android 16, and also Tien, thanks to Kai. But he's done a crap ton of roles. He's Furion in Final Fantasy. He's arguably he's arguably a celebrity, I feel like. I mean, he's one of the big name voice actors, I think. Just real quick to talk about the original version of this commentary, because again, I did use the PS2 footage. Main difference was that the CGI cutscenes and the anime cutscenes, they were switched. So the CGI cutscenes were playing first, and the anime cutscenes were playing afterwards. And for those who care, Gar is voiced by Hayami Sho, or Sho Hayami, who does Zarbon and Salza in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about how some of the... Oh, here's that iconic scene that we saw in the Tales of Destiny 2 video, except this one's different. Yeah, that's a bunch of characters, you know. Personality-wise, I don't know if there's really that many, but I mean, as far as like favorite characters go, but definitely gameplay-wise, there's definitely enough for different people. I mean, there's Swordsman, twin swordsman, bowman, fist fighter, axe woman, another bow person. You know, there's not every single archetype I feel like, but I mean, this is a JRPG. They're not really going for the Western styles. But you know, now this game being the first Tales game released in English, there were a crap ton of name changes. For one thing, Stan's name was redone. Originally it was spelled the same way as Stan, but they pronounced it Stan. It was probably intended to be Stan. I'm not really sure. That one's kind of hard to figure out. Leon, his name was actually spelled as Lion, and that's clearly, you know, the Japanese trying to create a certain kind of sound using their conventions with English letters, because obviously, you know, the I sound, the I letter makes E, so you know, L-I-O-N, that makes Leon in Japanese. So I mean, it's literally Leon. I mean, you can hear them say Leon, as Stan does his trademark Leon scream. I'd do it louder, but I'm recording this at like 3 in the morning. But like, and also the character Johnny, he was renamed to Carol. I think some people say Carl. I say Carol just because I mean, I don't know. I really should look at the names. Here's the ending credits. I think they might show the credits in this one. I'm not really sure. They did for the last one. And I'm using the same kind of way to, what's the word? Using the same kind of methods to rip the videos, which are making these videos possible and helping me complete myself as a Tales fan. Because I did say that I wouldn't go back to finishing up my Tales games, like the ones I needed to go back and finish, until I had finished all the, at least Rebirth, you know. And I'm kind of trying to do them in a certain order. One thing that I did notice that I changed, I'm just going based on the fact of what I remember, was that Leon has a girlfriend named Marion or Marion, probably even Mary Ann, but and like one of his attacks is based off of, is named Marion, but they changed it to Demon Attack. They were probably translating it literally, like they were probably translating Marion from Japanese as a Japanese word, which I don't know if it was necessarily a good idea. But in the remake, Marion meets the group when they're near like the final line. It's like, where's Leon? It's like, oh well, he's kind of dead. She's like, oh okay. The director's cut of this remake, which yes they did do one, and they even include like a special collector's edition which came with like a bunch of stuff and whatnot, explained it a little bit more, because there was actually a Leon mode for those who wanted to keep Leon in their party, which I'm one